Hi Aquarius, welcome to your February 2018 reading. I'm going to be doing these a little bit differently than I normally do the monthlies. We just had a card that fell. That's your card. Ooh, we got the star card. It's pretty positive. It's hope and renewal is what it is. So, like I feel for Aquarius, it's a very, especially we're in Aquarius season. Happy birthday to all you Aquarians out there. Hope it's a good one. Careful what you wish for. How you word it is everything, people, because it just might come true. But I do feel like it's a time of like you guys seeing things differently. Like with hope and renewal, it's like seeing that your ambitions, the things that you want are possible. It's just a matter of going out and creating it, and also shining, not being afraid to shine. Okay, because you are Aquarius, and the star does not shine if it is like everybody else. It only shines because it's separate. All right, so don't be afraid to shine and be your fabulous selves. But I am feeling like it's also nurturing others too. Like I feel like you guys are going to be very giving of yourselves. You have the Nine of Cups here, so it is a wish. I can't careful what you wish for. How you word it is everything. It is a wish that could come true. However, the warning I am getting that is coming out with this is be careful that you don't self-indulge. Man, this dude is coming out everywhere. This dude or chick, I don't know. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Like the universe is telling everybody like to slow down. Slow down. Okay, so what it's saying, again, like I was getting with the Nine of Cups, I am getting the warning of you don't want to smother things. Okay, so you don't want to be too controlling, too overpowering, or too, it has to be this way, it has to be done that way. You want to be very open-minded. You want to be, again, I'm like with the water being flowing out, that's nurturing, right? But that's not only to others, it's to yourself. So you want to ensure that the give and take balance is equal and fair, all right? Like, if you're expecting a specific outcome and you're trying to force it, the outcome will not happen. Okay, it'll only happen when things flow naturally. All right. The Knight of Pentacles is the Apprentice card. It's the teacher student. So there is an aspect of this month you're going to have to be both the teacher and the student, which means that you have to be open-minded and understanding that there's information that you don't know yet that you're going to have to learn. It is the student card, again, teacher-student relationship. So it's like gaining more knowledge and wisdom, all right? It is the friendship card too. The Knight of Pentacles, you have the sun that just fell out, the sun card. It's beautiful. Your partner signs, you got partner signs here. You got the star card and you have the sun card, which is Aquarius and Leo. And we do have the south node and north node in Aquarius and Leo. This is a time for both Aquarius and Leos of fulfilling your quests. Okay. You say quests. Anybody who's watched me for a while knows that Aquarius and Leo are King Arthur and Merlin. And they got quests that they have to do. Merlin had to bring back magic to the world, and Leo had to create order in the world to bring back that magic. So it's like destiny being fulfilled here. You have the Four of Swords. It's rest and recuperation as well. Because a lot of changes could be happening, okay, and both for Leo and Aquarius, it can be hard to change when they're not ready for it, all right? Because, you know, Aquarians, people can say what they want about them. They are ruled with Saturn. They're fantastic at building foundations, firm foundations. They're great business people. They're very stable. They might achieve it in a unique or a different way, but they are excellent builders. They're excellent business people. They build foundations that can't be broken. They know the rules, and they know they don't break them, but they do know how to get around them. All right. If there's a loophole, an Aquarian knows it. Whatever an Aquarian sets out to achieve, you guys will achieve. It's just being slow and methodical about it, and understanding that you constantly got to learn to achieve it. All right, to reach your goal. And there's a uniqueness in this reading too. Understanding that you might be creating something in a unique way. With the Knight of Pentacles, it is a friend card, though. As I was saying, it's like the it's not the best friend, but it is, or it could be a best friend. It is the energy of a person who is a true friend. So it's not the person who's going to patronize you or tell you what you want to hear or what they think you want to hear. It is the realist, the one who's going to tell you things how it is. They're going to give you the facts. They're going to break through any rose-colored glasses you have. You have Pisces here too. You've got the Hangman. Seeing things from a different perspective here is needed. So it's like anything that you wish for, understanding you can create it. It's just going to happen in a different way or a unique way. Or you have to understand the way that you perceive things may not actually be the way it is. With the Knight of Pentacles, the Sun card here, you got Aquarius, Pisces, you got a very high vibration happening here, like a high frequency of you have the more elevated signs here. And by elevated, I mean the more the word I'm looking for. The Seven of Swords, it keeps showing up. So one thing that's coming out is like ensure that you're not self-sabotaging. Again, in the beginning, it was like smothering something. Like if you want something, if you're forceful with it, you're going to get the opposite result. Okay, and then it's like if you're not taking action on something that you want, well, then you're going to get the opposite result of that too. You're not going to get things that happen. It's a balance that's needed. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, like not too much of this and not too much of that. All right, it's being slow and methodical and really thinking about things and being practical, because the Knight of Pentacles, this person, when he makes his move or she makes her move, it's slower, it's more methodical and more analytical, but the actions that they take is a one step at a time, and they master that step before they take another step, and the progress that they make is permanent. It's never, they build such a firm foundation that it can't be broken, because it's if you move too quickly, then you're missing things. You're not seeing everything. All right, this is illumination. If you move too quickly, you won't see everything. All right, and if you're too much in control, it's like if you're the driver all the time, well, then you're going to miss the journey. All right, and the destination is not going to be as great as you thought. You have the Three of Wands here. This is a protection card too. Sometimes like I see this as spirit talking to you, like they're giving you a talking to, a warning, a heads up. Like, hey, psst, psst, come here. I'm going to tell you again. All right, that's how I interpret this card for some reason. Knowledge and wisdom beforehand. You're getting a heads up. You have the World card here. So you have nothing but, and then the Hierophant. That's been popping up a lot too lately. It's tradition, morals, values. This is like what withstands the test of time type thing. Marriages, that type of thing. If that's what you're trying to work towards, you got to be slow and methodical about things. You can't just go gung-ho, right? And act on emotions here, because you could miss something. All right. With the Knight of Pentacles being the friendship card, it's almost like, okay, you don't want to have attachments to outcomes, all right? Like expectations, again, is coming through, because how you perceive things might not be how they actually are. And that's a little weird because I don't know what they mean by that. So, like, what I'm getting is it's understanding of, okay, certain people can come into your life, but they might not be there for the reason that you think they are. So certain people come into your life at different times for different reasons. Okay, some people come into your life to teach you things. Okay, some people come into your life because you have things to teach them. Other people come into your life because they have lessons that they have to teach you, or you have lessons that you have to teach them. Some people can come into your life because they have karma that needs to be played out, and they are your karma. Like, they will serve your karma, or you will serve their karma, that type of thing. Others are there for temporarily to guide you on your path. They could be just a guide. Uh, it's not always for the reasons that you think that they may be there for. All right, so ensure that you're not placing expectations on a situation, um, because with Pisces here, like the hangman, that's seeing things from a different perspective and perception. Not everything is as it seems. You will be given illumination on it somehow, and how you're going to be given that illumination is, it's definitely like spirits going, "Psst, come here." Like, slow down, analyze things, be a realist, right? Like, see things for how they are, and not for how you want them to be. And then for others of you, this is like you coming out of your shell, like uh, basically like seeing that what you want can be achieved, and going towards those goals. With the Knight of Pentacles, like being the student, this is, you could go back to school. This could be research and development for a business, learning new skills, going into a new trade, trying new things, even like cooking, eating healthier, that type of thing. Structure and stability is what's coming through here. Getting that all in order for the next part of your journey. Okay, with the World card here, it is saying that you need to slow down before and analyze things before you make things, before you finalize things. Okay, try to see things from as many perspectives as possible. It's saying, because that will cause illumination for you, and also it will help you see an error that might occur before it occurs. Okay, because there's definitely research that has to happen here. And then we have coins like falling from the sky in this card, if you see it. Okay, so it's like you could be wishing for more money, and it's like, okay, don't be, there's a sense of wishful thinking happening here. You got to make that happen. So that means like you may need to quit your job and then go to another job that has a higher pay. I mean, it might break your heart to leave the people behind that you have to, but you got to do at the end of the day what's best for you. Okay, this could also be like you have to make budget cuts too. With the Knight of Pentacles, they're quite practical. They're very resourceful. So they're the type of person. Give an example here. I got a Virgo rising, so I do know I can be quite practical. It's nurture nature too, right? How you're raised as well. Uh, and my parents being Capricorn and an Aries, they're very grounded and practical, and like they're not wasteful. I'll tell you that. So like when I was younger, I learned to be resourceful from my mother because we didn't have much money when we were growing up. Them being immigrants and all, starting over in a new country and things, there were sacrifices they had to make. There is sacrifice in this part too. Um, so they instilled being resourceful in us in the sense that food never went to waste. So like say when we made chicken or a roast dinner and you had stuff left over, we would turn it into stew the next day. or so you weren't eating the same meal and it didn't go to waste. And then from that stew, we would make, I usually turn the stew into pot pies and then I freeze them. So you have your own TV dinners, they're in the freezer. So it's like from one meal, you make 3 meals, that type of thing. It's like being resourceful. Does that make sense? You got to make situations work for you, not against you. If there's a will, there's a way. I am getting that. If there's a will, there's a way. All right. And with the Aquarius energy here, it might not be, you got to be creative and unique about the way you do things. It is saying that. It's like maybe you have some skills and abilities that you don't realize can be transferred over into another area. Okay. Like, it's like, okay, in the sense if you're becoming a boss, all right, and then you're having some issues at work with some people, not knowing how to handle them, but you're a parent, okay, so you have kids. So the life experience that you've gained from being a parent can transfer over in many ways and in many different areas in your life. For instance, when you're a boss, and because you have that knowledge of being a parent, you can transfer over those skills, work for you in management or as a supervisor or a lead hand or whatever it is. When you're having problems with your employees, you can kind of like redirect to the area in your life with skills of being a parent, and be resourceful and use them towards being a boss. So it's, for example, like when you bring in new people at your job, there's usually backlash that starts to happen, or jealousy can occur. So in that manner, as a parent, you can, if you've had multiple kids, then you've probably come across a situation when you had your second child, the first child got jealous. There was a little bit of resentment towards that. All right. And it, like do you understand? You can transfer that skill over to work. All right. So when your children are at home and they're arguing, okay, because usually when conflict occurs or things occur as adults, people are digressing to childhood, how they act as a child. All right. It's quite childish. You just got to perceive them as like a 3-year-old to handle a situation. All humans do this. Okay. It's just human nature, human behavior. It's done on an unconscious level. Okay, anger usually comes out because a person doesn't know how to express themselves appropriately. So it comes out in the opposite manner than it means to. They're hurt inside, so they usually cause hurt on the outside, or it'll come across as anger. But uh, if you're a boss and you've had children, okay, like when your children argue, okay, it's usually because one's getting more attention than the other. So, like at work, that could be applied too. You know what I mean? You could use your problem solving skills at home, at work. Like when your children are arguing, it's usually over something small, minute, and ridiculous. Same thing applies to work. If you look at them as you do your children, then you'll kind of be able to fix the situation. All right. Like there's something about like utilizing your everyday life in a different area, or your skills uh, in a different area. Like you're not seeing how you can transfer them over. Like they're they're quite valuable towards you, if that makes sense. Hopefully I described that all. Probably didn't, but I try. I do try, people. I got a Sag Mercury, so placement, so it doesn't come out like in the Gemini manner where, it's blunt the way it comes out, but that is a fast-paced energy too, so it can sometimes come out as riddle. There is a chance here too, you may have to sacrifice something in order to gain something else, and that's just the natural balance in life. You got to give in order to receive. Life is full of irony. Um, the Three of Wands here too, like you could be looked up at as like people are going to be uh, looking to you for support and understanding. With the Knight of Pentacles here, this is saying that the energy you need to take on is being that it's like not reacting and taking action. It's like the observer, all right? So it's like if situations are occurring, it's not taking sides, it's observing the situation before you make a judgment call. Okay? Trying to ensure that you're seeing things from both perspectives or multiple perspectives. There's usually more than two perspectives, but if it's a situation occurring with two people, it's trying to see things from the perspective of the other. Like if conflicts happen at work, and I gave the scenario of a new person came into work, well, then there's going to be backlash. Okay, it's going to be like that child situation where a new child was brought into the environment, so the other one's going to feel like it's a threat to them. You know what I mean? Like, so that just means as a boss that you just have to show appreciation towards the person that's been there a while, as well as encouragement towards the new person that's there. This is like balancing two sides out here. You could have a lot going on too, a lot of changes happening, and they're going to be well worth it. Just pause and rest on things before you make decisive decisions. Okay? That is coming through here. And then you have the Eight of Pentacles coming through, which is studying, research, development. It's a Virgo card. It's producing too. They're the Magician. Anything you think about, you can create. You just might have to think about it in a different perspective. With the Sun card there too, that the Sun being a star as well. You have great power here, you guys. You're going to be given a lot of energy and like even illumination on things. I'm getting an illumination. My only concern in this reading is that emotionally don't get off balance. Okay. Like you want to ensure your perception is correct. So like be slow and methodical about things. Take a step back, rest. You definitely need rest here too. You guys are traveling quite a bit and my eyes just got really heavy there. Like you could have a lot on your plate for some of you. Some of you could be in the public eye. Some of you are traveling a lot for work. With the Star card, okay, being Aquarius too, humanitarian, it's very nurturing. It's usually, they can be motivators. They're usually in healthcare. They're very caring towards others. Great teachers. Aquarians make great teachers because they support a person's uniqueness and they bring that out of them. They appreciate it and they show a person that there's value there. All right. But for some of you guys, you're seeing things from a different perspective, as in your past. You definitely have a choice to make, and before you make that choice, you do want to see things from as many points of view as possible. With the Ace of Swords here, that's the Sword of Truth. I see that, like, you do have that Leo energy here. Leo's King Arthur, and only King Arthur could pull out that sword because he wielded it appropriately. His heart was pure, which meant his intentions were pure. All right, so he could wield that power correctly. And Merlin was given a great burden as well, because Merlin was the only one who could wield that power correctly too. Like he used that for good, not for harm. Both Leo and Aquarius work for the people. They benefit the people. The second that those two signs start to sway more towards self gratification, usually things start to occur in their life where, because those two energies are not meant for self, they're meant for the world. They're meant to solve problems. They're meant to move things forward. They're meant to get things done and happen. All right. Again, going back to King Arthur and Merlin, they had things that they had to accomplish and do and create together. And they had to bring harmony towards the people. They worked for the people. They sacrificed themselves for the greater good. And both of those signs do that. So any sacrifices that you make, as long as it's towards the greater good of the self and others, it's going to be highly beneficial towards you. Definitely saying that. But you're also going to have great power with the Ace of Swords here, you're going to be giving clarity and you're going to be able to give clarity to others. But you want to ensure that the clarity that you're giving is not black and white. Okay, because like with black and white, when you combine those two colors, you get gray. You understand what I mean? There's another another way to do things, another perception, another way to see things, another way to understand things. And you might have to combine two different methods to get that third. It's similar to kind of like, you know, Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was one of those brilliant minds. I personally am fascinated with him. I do enjoy human behavior and psychology and stuff, where in his mind is just one of those minds like Leonardo da Vinci that, you know, are quite fascinating, because their perception of the world was completely different than others. And with Albert Einstein, okay, being one of the most brilliant men alive, you know, in science, okay, he solved issues and problems and perceived the universe in a much different manner because his perception was different. And how did he create that perception? Well, again, going back to the black and white creating gray. When you combine them, they create gray. And his mindset, okay, most scientists are fact-oriented. They don't believe in religion, okay? They don't have a belief system in that manner. They have a factual belief system, okay? Like, but with Albert Einstein, he was a man who believed in God, but he also believed in science, okay? Because he had these two altered perceptions, two completely opposite perceptions, he was able to create a third perception, which was, in a sense, he was able to see through a different set of eyes than anybody else because they could only see in that vision. Does that make sense? A person who only believed in science and factual stuff could not see what the person that believed in religion seen. And the person who believed in religion but didn't believe in science couldn't see what he seen or she seen. All right. But the person who had both belief systems created a new belief system, a third system. All right. And because they created that third system, one that hadn't been created before, they could see things. They could see through a set of eyes that nobody had seen before, making them able to establish or see patterns that others weren't able to see because they limited themselves with their mindset. All right. Like, there's a cloudiness in the mind here. And the mind is like just going here. It's like I'm getting the Matrix. Are you going to take the blue pill or are you going to take the red pill? But it's like understanding that you don't have to pick just one way of doing things or seeing things in one in a certain altered reality. Okay, like it's like you can combine things. You don't have to do things just one way. You can combine them and you'll be able to see things differently and in a manner that nobody else can. And as an Aquarius, nobody else is going to be able to make the connections the way that you guys can. All right, like, so if you see things that can only be done in one specific way, I mean, there's other ways that they can be done. Give yourself time to oh, you got the Wheel of Fortune. You guys got a fantastic reading. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, I just got Dharma. All right, so there's ways of laws of the universe at play here, and you're receiving your Dharma. Okay, and Dharma comes after your karma. All right, there's nothing you can really do with Dharma. It's just the powers that be have control there. You have free will. You choose whether or not to accept it or deny it. All right, like you choose whether or not to see through a different light, or you choose to stay stuck. You can either choose to use the sword for good, or you can choose to use it for bad, to cut through the truth or to hide the truth. All right, like with this sword too, you can create a reality that doesn't exist. So it's like it's like a sword where people can lie or they can cut through the lies. I wouldn't recommend lying because with the Scorpio Jupiter placement happening right now, anything that's hidden will be seen and anything that's not truth will be cut through. It's not a time for that. But you guys, you know, it's fortune turning here, but that, again, it comes down to willpower. All right, like there's free will at play. It's a personal choice. You're going to choose your path here. All right. And take your time. There's no rush. I am seeing a cat here. I'm seeing like an Egyptian, the Egyptian cat. Like, I think it's like a Black Panther, and they got gold around their neck and like arms. It's like that cat statue in the Egyptian times. I'm not sure why that's coming through. But you're given all the tools that you need. You just got to overcome a few things here. Nobody's going to stop you, Aquarius. It is coming through here. Whatever you want to proceed forward with, you can. Ensure you're getting enough rest, though. All right, because you got to recharge your energy here. Because the universe is going to be bringing some really good things and opportunities your way. Even like people could come into your life that you're going to have some really good conversations with that will help you or help provide clarity towards things to help you see things differently. And that will provide you clarity in some manner in your life. It could even give you an aha moment or a light bulb moment or of understanding. I know that's weird, but it's what I'm getting. I feel like Dharma is at play here, and it's going to be for the positive. So you're reaping what you sow. And it's time. Don't rush things, okay? All good things come to those who wait. All right, you got to be slow, methodical, and patient, and you do have to be a realist here. All right? Okay, everybody, hopefully this helped you out. Namaste, and I will talk to you next month. Ciao for now.